Alright, yes, the metronome that I like to use on the phone is called Tempo Metronome. I know it's got to be less than $5. I want to say I maybe spent like $2 to get the pro version. They have a free one, but I mean, just for a couple bucks to get the full one, I think it's definitely worth it. And I'll show you how to use it if you have any questions figuring it out. So when using the metronome, I think it would be a good idea just start with your A minor scale to begin with, up and down, and like do 2 notes per click, and do alternate picking the whole time. So it sounds something like this. Just get that up as fast as you can before you stop. You might be able to do that within 10 minutes. I think we talked about that time frame wise. And something else you might be able to do is, since we only have 5 different shapes, perhaps do a different shape each day. And imagine if you're really working on good solid metronome work each day with each of these scales. I mean, you're going to be playing it a lot, each scale a lot with each session, so it might be okay to try one shape each different day, and just make sure you play the other shapes first. Make sure that you still have it memorized. If you notice, screen froze. Alright, now it's going again. So let's say you work on, like, the first day you do the A minor scale up and down, and then the next day you do have that A minor scale memorized just fine, so then you can start working on the second scale shape. So then day 3 comes by, and you still got the A minor scale down, but I think the second one, it takes a little bit to really get back into it. If that happens, then you know it is not a good idea to move on to that third scale shape and practice that. Stick with the second one. So yeah, just make sure you just take your time with it and build them up one at a time. As far as the improv stuff, I think it's perfectly fine to start messing around with all the scale shapes right now. Again, that's probably the most fun way to really get familiar with them. So you can spend like a minute or 2 on each different scale shape, or you can have a backing track that you might find lasting like 3 to 5 minutes, and you can spend the entire track on just one of the shapes. So I mean, either way that you do it, it's important to spend like equal time in them, unless you find one more difficult than another. So if one proves to be more challenging, that's the one you want to stick in the most, because you want to always focus on the weak spots, so this way you're more well-rounded. Alright, so working on the pinky strength, this is the first thing we got that's new. Next thing, so one thing to remember here is, even though we're up on the higher frets, don't go to these fingers. Still use your first, third, and fourth, and here use your first, second, and fourth, and not those. So yes, it is certainly possible to hit that reach, but again, we want the best muscle memory possible. So, like I demonstrated, you got like down the lower frets, you go these sets of fingers, but like when you're moving up, it's kind of like, when do you automatically switch over to the other sets of fingers? So, just a reminder, keep doing the same fingers every time for those patterns. There will be exceptions that come down the road when it comes to more difficult pieces, but for the most part, you can always use the same sets of fingers. So with the bending stuff that you did, the idea is your index finger holds the stationary string, and you're going to bend with both your second and your third finger. So your ring finger goes on the fret, you're going to be here, and then your middle finger is behind that to help give it more strength and control. So the goal is to hear the bent string note go up into the same pitch as the non-bent note. So do it slow so you hear it come together, and pay attention to listen to that wave. So you might start to hear that wave come in, and then when it slows down more and more, like the closer it gets, the slower the wave will go, and then it should sound like one thing. Oops, do that one again. Accidentally grabbed an extra string there. So the other set of bends, same idea, index on the stationary strings, middle two fingers bending the strings, just a fret wider stretch. And the big one. See that one again. That sounds even better. Okay. And let's see. Right. Started counting rhythm. So you're going to tap your foot the whole time. So your foot will be where the beat is, keeping tempo. And you're going to count out loud. So you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 as you go. And just strum the chord, the appropriate chord, under where the underlying part of the beat is. And here we go. First one on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. So yeah, just look up on YouTube A minor backing tracks or C major backing tracks. Either one will work. And just find something you like and play to it. And yep, just like the note that you left, start at 60 beats a minute with the metronome, increase it by 5. And if you have any questions before next week, let me know. I will see you on Wednesday.